Six rules for staying young. You are listening to Competitor's Brain. This is episode number 23, and I am Lauren Fox. And one of my favorite baseball players as a kid, even though I never saw him play, and he passed away when I was about 9 years old, was Satchel Paige. And the reason I loved him was because of a made-for-TV movie starring Lou Gossett Jr., who just passed away. But Satchel Paige was a legendary pitcher in the Negro Leagues. And he was born in 1906, died at the age of 75, and in the middle of all that, he packed in a ton of life and was very well known for being one of the biggest showmen in the Negro Leagues, and really somebody who popularized the game of baseball among a very wide audience. But he was legendary for the fact that he seemingly never got tired. He had a personality that was second to none among baseball players and Major League Baseball players. And remember, at that point in time, Major League Baseball was a game that was played only by whites. There was the Negro Leagues where black players could play, and it wasn't until Jackie Robinson integrated the game that black players and white players played together. But there are a ton of Hall of Famers who will tell you that Satchel Paige was the toughest guy they ever faced. So Satchel Paige, to give you a little bit of context as well, when he came up to the major leagues, and he finally did get there, it was in 1948. He was 41 years old, and he went 6-1. He won 6 games, and he lost 1. At the age of 45, pitching for the St. Louis Browns, Satchel Paige won 12 games. He had an ERA just over 3. And then he came back at the age of 58 and threw 58 years old, and threw 3 scoreless innings in the major leagues for the Kansas City A's. So Satchel Paige was a legend, but he was a man who, on his gravestone, which is in Kansas City, which is, if you ever go there, a great place to visit. Buck O'Neil is also buried there. Buck O'Neil, legendary Negro Leaguer, and we'll talk about him later on as well. But it says on Satchel's grave, he began work carrying suitcases at Mobile Union Station and devised the sling harness for hustling several bags at once. The other Redcaps said he looked like a walking satchel tree. Thus, Leroy, which was Satchel's given name, became Satchel, and Satchel became a legend. So he had his 6 rules for staying young, which you may not live by all of them, and some of them we may know aren't necessarily the right ones, but it's certainly a good start. So number 1, avoid fried meats, which angry up the blood. Number 2, if your stomach disputes you, lie down and pacify it with cool thoughts. Number 3, keep the juices flowing by jangling around gently as you move. Number 4, go very light on vices such as carrying on in society. The social ramble ain't restful. Number 5, avoid running at all times. Number 6, don't look back. Something might be gaining on you. So those are Satchel Paige's 6 rules for staying young. He pitched in the major leagues at the age of 58 and is one of the legends in baseball history.